it's Wednesday, and I thought, by way of a change, I'd do a little day in the life, one day on the road type video today. So it's just after 7, I think, and I'm bracing myself to get up into quite a cold morning. I don't always get up at the same time. Sometimes I don't get up until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. But I got an early night last night, and it is quite cold as well. I think I'm down by the lake, and it was quite windy last night. So today is a relatively early one, at about 7:30, I think. The first thing I'm going to do is put some legs on, because it is really briskly fresh. It's not really practical to have anything in the tent with you when you use the tree tent. So on nights when I'm up in that, I have to keep everything on the bike, which is, it's not a bad thing, because it does encourage you to be a bit more tidy. It means everything's close to hand in the morning. The first order of the day is definitely coffee. I got into coffee pretty late in life, and the first time I ever went touring, I just took those little sachets of kind of instant cappuccino. That did not cut the mustard at all, and so I stopped on that tour in a little village in a sort of lifestyle boutique and bought this mocha pot, which I've had ever since. It's not particularly light, it's not particularly practical. There are much more lightweight camping sort of options now, but it does make very nice coffee. And sitting with the first coffee of the day and just contemplating the morning is, in my opinion, one of the great pleasures of camping, if not one of the great pleasures of life. Once the coffee's doing its thing, the next thing on the list is porridge. Definitely my breakfast of choice when I'm out and about. Lots of seeds, lots of fruit, whatever you can get. If you can forage something, that's brilliant. But at this time of the year, I'm just using dried apricots, which are very, very nice indeed. Normally I like to sit and savour breakfast a little bit, especially in a spot as lovely as this one. But today it is really, really, really cold, finger-numbingly cold. So I'm going to rush through it a bit and just try and get on the road and get the old blood pumping again. Once breakfast is all out of the way, all that's left to do is pack up camp and get everything loaded back onto the bike. And this is something that I keep thinking I'll get better at and become really efficient, because it's the same every day, but no matter what, it just always seems to take loads longer than I think it's going to, and loads longer than it should. And I forget things, and I leave stuff hanging in trees, and I put stuff in the wrong bags, and blah blah blah. And so by the time I finally get going, it's always later than I meant, but that's fine, because we're not on any kind of schedule here, and there's nothing at all to be late for. In some ways, a day pedalling is a lot like a little lifetime. You know, you're born from your horrible sweaty sleeping bag, and for the first few moments you're pretty useless. You just kind of sit there staring at stuff. Then you set off and your blood's full of porridge and caffeine, and you've got infinite time to do anything you want. Then after a while, you know, in the middle of the day, you start to take it a bit easy. Think about a long leisurely lunch somewhere maybe. And then you get to the end of the day and you're cold and you're tired and your legs hurt, and all you want to do is succumb to the sweet oblivion of your sleeping bag again. And so the circle continues, the circle of life, the circle of cycle touring. At the moment, I'm still in phase 2, I guess. I'm feeling good, my legs are still good, the day is warming up, and the scenery is stunning, really, really nice. Snack stops are pretty much dictated by geography. When I pass a little spot as pleasant as this, it seems disrespectful not to stop and just look at it for a while and have a banana. Lunch also just kind of happens when the hunger takes me, really, but it's usually quite a formal and exotic affair. Today I've had an amuse-bouche of cashew nuts. The main course will be some bread that I think is made of the stuff that you get in the middle of black holes. It's incredibly dense and weighs about a quarter of a ton. That is liberally smeared with some brie that's been ripening, stuffed into the bottom of one of my panniers for a couple of days, and a spring onion. And for pudding, I'll probably have a banana. Just don't like to break with tradition too much. It's about 3:30 now, and I'm starting to glance around for some kind of fabulous camping spot for the evening. Now I've checked the weather, and apparently the wind is swinging round and it's going to be coming in from the south sometime this evening and all through tomorrow, which means it will be behind me tomorrow, which is nice. But it's also bringing in a load of rain overnight and tomorrow morning. So what I'm looking for is a nice sheltered spot that's going to be out of the wind during the night and possibly a bit sheltered from the weather if I decide to have a lie-in tomorrow morning and try and skip the rain. Now I've got my eye on a little kind of islandy peninsula bit that sticks out into the fjord about 7 miles up. It's hard to see from the maps, but I reckon there might be a little beach on the sheltered north side which could make a very good spot, so I'm going to aim for that. If that all falls through, then I'll just pitch on the side of the road like a scumbag. Bad spot at all. I think I've stumbled on rather a nice one here. So only thing left to do now then is to try and find 3 trees that will do for the tree tent, get all that set up, get some dinner on and watch the rest of the day. tent is up, all looking good. I've done a bit of a lower, tighter pitch, and I've paid much more attention to the guy lines and stuff. So if the wind does come in and the rain comes in, hopefully I'll be a bit more protected and get a better night's sleep than I did last night. I'm gonna make my bed up now. I've got my Thermarest Camper SV mat, which I have done a video review about in the past. It's really, really good. And I've got me Rub Neutrino 400 sleeping bag, which I've also done a video about in the past, if you want to have a look. I'm going to put these all together now, so you're going to have to get out of the way, I'm afraid. And with tent set up, bed set up, stuff stashed and out of the way, next up is dinner. Tonight we're having another road classic of mine. We got some veg, some peppers and spring onions in water, stock cube, black pepper, boil it all up till it's kind of not really cooked but not raw anymore, and then bash in a load of couscous, top it all off with a lovely tin of fish. And that's dinner done. Not the fanciest of dinners, but very satisfying after a long day's riding. And now all that remains to be done is wash the dishes and sit and take in the last of the day until the bugs come out and drive me into my tent. It's a very, very cool spot to just sit and do some staring. There are some clouds coming in, so maybe they were right about the rain in the night. But as is always the case, we will just have to wait and see what tomorrow brings. So that's that. That's my day on the road, and it's pretty standard really. They are mostly some variation on that theme. I don't know, some people I guess might think it looks like a pretty boring and pointless existence, but it's amazing. It's so quiet. Lapping of the waves, tired legs. I've got a comfy bed just over there. I don't know, it's not much, but I think you'll be hard pressed to ask for more.